Hi, welcome back. This will be part 17 to What If Deku Was Born with a Hybrid Quirk? That being said, we last left off our favorite hero as him and Koda were like he just received a message from Pixie Bob, I think, tells him that he's been like the students are authorized to use their quirks to defend themselves. Villains are attacking. And we'll say the part. So Izuku is because before that happened, like a few of the students had been able to make it back and say that there's people in the forest and everything. And Aizawa was sitting there thinking, he's like, man, and those two are still out there. If have to. So he tells Pixie Bob to like let the students know that in the name of like the pro hero Eraserhead, they're authorized to use their quirks to defend themselves. And so this message goes out and everything. And so Kotsky just like as soon as like this is like sent out, you just hear a loud explosion in the background, and basically Kotsky's running rampant through the forest at this point, like just taking out villains and everything. And then like you start hearing, like you start just seeing like part sections of the forest are starting to freeze and everything, because Todoroki is basically going all out and everything. And so we cut over to Izuku versus Muscular fight. Izuku like looks down at Koda and sees the horror on his face, and he's like, Koda, snap out of it. It's okay. Like, what's going on? He. And like Koda can't like get it out, and then he just tells Koda it's fine, I understand. And he's like, oh, so the little hero wants to get in the way. We were told to kill everyone here, especially like, and we're looking for this Kendo girl. And this just immediately makes Izuku mad, and he's like, what do you want her for? And he's like, we're supposed to use her for bait. And Izuku's like, bait for who? And he's starting to get angrier and angrier. And all of a sudden electricity starts like wrapping around, like pulsating from his body, and he's just getting angry. And Muscular's like, what is a little hero like you gonna do? Just die already. And like he hits Izuku to the ground, and like Izuku's fighting back and everything. Because like unlike the Nomu, like this is a person, this is a human being, and the Nomu was just a wild, mindless animal to him. And like Muscular is sitting there pounding on Izuku and everything, and like he gets water, and he's like, leave him alone. And Muscular just turns around and rushes at Kodo, and before Izuku could react to like protect him, like Kodo kind of gets like injured a little bit from this attack because he barely manages to stop it, but the shockwave from the impact like knocks Kodo out. And this just sends Izuku into a blind rage, and he basically rips off Muscular's arm using, and then like basically cauterizing the wound from, because of the electricity pumping around his body, is enough to like cauterize the wound in an instant. And then he just headbutts Muscular, and then picks up Koda and runs. Like Muscular's left there screaming on the ground. And like, I'm gonna kill that brat. If it's the last thing I do, I'm gonna kill that brat. And then like Muscular passes out from like the pain and everything. And then all of a sudden, like there's like impact on the crater, and Izuku walks out of the crater up to Aizawa, and he's like, Aizawa Sensei, take him. I have to go. And Aizawa's like, what the hell happened? Because Izuku's normally this kid that doesn't show emotion, and he's only seen this face once before, and he's like, oh god, like I hope he doesn't end up killing someone, because Aizawa can't stop him. Like he tries, and Izuku just basically breaks out of the cloth, and like his body is like constantly getting bigger and then smaller and bigger and then smaller. And Izuku like doesn't quite understand what's going on himself, but he knows one thing: he's got to protect the people. So between Izuku, Katsuki, and Todoroki, they're able to defeat like almost all the villains. And then after everything is said and done, they're doing head counts and everything, and it's found out that Kendo has been adopted. And unlike in the in canon, this is where it differentiates. Their sole goal was to capture this Kendo girl, because they knew it would be impossible to like capture Izuku. And All For One is after Izuku because he wants to steal his quirk. But that's not quite going to work out in his favor. Like they shouldn't have done that, because when Izuku finds out, like he goes postal, like just pounding the ground, creating crater after crater after crater. And Momo like basically jumps down and just like grabs him, and he's like kind of shaking. He's like, it's okay, it's okay. And he's like, no, it's not okay. They took her. After everything, after all the loss I've suffered, I can't lose someone else. And like he's like, his body is pulsing energy, and then all of a sudden they like he just collapses under like the power, like passing out because he overexerted himself. And like when in the hospital and everything, like after they've gotten treatment and stuff, they like Momo has like gone over with All Might and everything about the stuff, and Kirishima has like overheard this. And Momo's like at Izuku's bed when he wakes up and everything, and Kirishima's standing there, and like he's been arguing with like Momo about like getting one of those like things to track for the tracker and everything. And Izuku kind of hears this and is like, wait, what? Like, we have a way of knowing like where they took her? And Momo's like, she's like, calm down, like you're in no state to go there. He's like, no, I have to go, I have to save her. And I was like, you don't have to, the pros will deal with it. And he's like, no, I can't just sit here and do nothing. And Mom, like, he goes back and forth, and he's like, I'm sorry, Momo, like, I don't want to like hurt your feelings, but like I can't lose someone else that I care about. Like I can't do it. I can't let someone else die because of me. And at this, like, Momo was like, I'm sorry, like, and she gives it to her. She was like, and she goes running out crying. She's like, don't die, because how do you think I feel? And this kind of snaps Izuku back into his memory, back to himself a little bit, like, because he made someone he cares about cry, and like he hurt someone, and he's been just so focused that he didn't realize like how Momo felt about the situation, and he's like, crap, I'm gonna have to deal with that afterwards, but still I have to do this. So on the way out, he's stopped by Katsuki. He's like, where do you think you're going? And he's like, Izuku's like, you know I have to go, and you know you can't stop me. And he's like, that's not the point. What are you going to do? He's like, I don't have time for this, Katsuki. And this is kind of like shocking to everyone there. And like Katsuki like just walks up to him and grabs him. He's like, dude, you can't. You're acting like me. You're going in without a plan. You need to come up with a plan. It's not that I'm going to stop you, but I'm not going to let you go in there like this and die without a plan. And at this point, Uraraka comes up and she's like, yeah, like you shouldn't go. And she says the same thing to him, and then Todoroki comes up to him and is like, well, if you guys are going to go, I need to go, like, I'm going with you. Same thing with, like, Kirishima, and Kirishima was like, well, you know I'm going. And Katsuki's like, bro, you know wherever you go, I'm going to follow. And if we have to go to the gates of hell and back, so be it. We did promise each other, you know? And Izuku's like, I know, but I'm like worried about Momo. And at this point, Momo comes up with like red eyes and is like, well, I'm going to go with you because somebody has to keep you in check and keep you keep you boneheads level-headed. And at this, Ina comes up to them as they're leaving and is like, I'm going to go with you, but if something happens, if it looks like things are going sideways, I don't care if I have to, but I'm going to take you guys away. And Katsu's like, he kind of like laughs in his head, is like this kid, like he just doesn't know. Because Izuku's very determined at this point to save Kendo, and this is exactly what the League of Villains was hoping for. And we cut over to like Kendo, like them basically kind of telling Kendo that like, because of you, we know he's gonna come. We know he's going to like try to save you. And that's what we want. We want him to come so that our master can take his power. And so the fight with all, like, Izuku's like, we can't. So if I was all for one, what would I want to do? What? And then it hits him. He's like, no, it's because of me. They want me. And Izuku like quickly explains the situation to them. And the fight with this is happening during like the fight with All Might and All for One. And he's like, he can't. And Izuku's like, he can't go all out. He's worried about her, but I can't go in there because if he gets a hold of me, like, it's all over. And Katsu's like, so I guess we're doing this. And Izuku's like, yeah, I guess so. And he explains to everyone, and he's like, All Might can't go all out with us here, so we have to somehow grab Kendo while we're not in his way and make sure that I don't get captured in the same place. And Izuku comes up with the plan with Todoroki, like he'll use his ice incongruent with Izuku's like blood shield to basically protect them so that they can get to Kendo. And so they get Kendo out of there, and they just, and on the back burner, like they just see All Might literally going all out at this. And All For One comes back with a punch, basically knocking All Might out. He's just walking over, and in an instant, Izuku's like, not again, not again. And then All For One basically skewers All Might again. And he's like, so how did you get healed? I thought that injury would have taken care of you. But I guess I was wrong. I guess I have to make sure the deed is done this time. And in that pesky quirk of yours. And the fight was like way more brutal, more damage has like come. So Izuku like basically rushes in and catches the fist of All For One. And he's like, oh, so you finally decided to show your face. Well, too late. He's gone. And there's nothing you can do about it. The symbol of peace is dead. And at this point, Izuku's looking down and he's like, no, not him. Not him. And just like Izuku starts bulking up, and he places his hand on All Might, and Katsuki's like coming back, and he's like, no, don't do it. You were told you'd do this again. It will kill you. Izuku, no. And All For One's coming back in for another punch, and at this, his hand gets blasted by Katsuki, and from this point, Izuku basically is he like All Might is like literally almost dead, and now this, like, there's a bright light, and Izuku is just laying there in All Might's hands, and All Might's like completely healed, and he's like, young Midoriya, that was reckless. Like, and he's like, Izuku like just is looking up and he's like, I did it. I protected someone that was about to die because of me. I guess I can lay this plane by myself. And at this point, another punch is coming in, but all of a sudden, someone is just standing there holding his fist. And this person turns around to like All Might and Izuku and Bakugo, because she drops like Katsuki down, and she's like, Toshinori, get them out of here. And he's like, what had happened? Like, what's going on? And she's like, you need to get those two out of here now. I failed his mother, but I won't fail young Midoriya. He needs to get as far away from like Shigaraki here. It's time I ended this. And this person just has this bloodlust on like her face and everything. And basically it's this. Like, basically, it's this, like, a woman standing there that looks like this. Her eyes are glowing and everything, and All Might's like, you're that person that, who are you? And she's like, I'm sorry, but I can't tell you that. just know that I'm neither a hero nor a villain. I have too much blood on my hands to be called a hero, and I'm not. But I don't want this world to end. I don't want people to be harmed because of our family. Get him out of here now. And at this, she just turns around and is facing, like, squaring off against All For One. And All For One, like, just starts laughing. He's like, ha ha ha, you came out of your hole. You're finally showing your place. So I take it you want to, like, end it here. So I guess one of us isn't walking away from this. Isn't that right? So All For One is basically saying, so you finally decided to come out of whatever hole you crawled into, Shinku. And she's like, whatever. It ends here today. The you won't kill another. So that being said, like, I've tried looking over this for a watermark. I can't. There's a couple of things that look like watermarks, and there's no clear where this was originally posted. Like, I tried looking for it, and the reason why I've been kind of cryptic about this character is because this is sort of like what I was thinking this person would look like. They have, like, long green hair, and this is, like, from, like, just looking up, like, Deku villain and stuff like that, but this is posted all over the place in different websites. There's no, like, clear original artist. And there are a couple of things that look like watermarks, like, up by the ear, like, it looks like someone, like, wrote, like, in their name, but it also forms in with the hair. And then there's, like, on the shoulder, then the forearm, and then there's also down by the gloves. And, like, this, like, All Might gets out of there, and, like, he comes running back as this person is basically getting, like, mollywopped by, like, one for all. And at this point, she's like getting wailed on and everything, but it's not really doing anything to her. Like, it's like All For One doesn't have the power to hurt her, and she doesn't have enough power to really hurt All For One. And All Might, like, comes in and tells us, like, you need to get out of here too. If my suspicion, and he's, like, not yelling at us, he's whispering, he's basically talking normal voice, so, like, media doesn't hear this. Because they're still in, like, the helicopters and stuff like that. And he kind of whispers, like, you need to get out of here too. If my suspicions about who you are, you can't be here. She's like, I'm not strong enough yet, but I've got to protect. And then All For One, like, puts his hand on her shoulders, like, you need to leave. I can deal with this. I wasn't able to go all out, and he got in a few good blows on me. But thanks, young Midoriya. Like, you just see All Might, like, kind of crack his neck and then, like, crack his knuckles. He's like, I haven't been able to, like, go all out on my new power yet. So then it becomes more of a one-sided fight now between All Might and All For One. He's just beating, like, punching. He's like 100%. He's like 50% smash, 75% smash, 100% smash, 100% smash. And it's just going back and forth. And then All Might gets him again. And then All Might's like, I'm not going to let his sacrifice end like this. Oh, and then like you just see these black tendrils just starting to form around his arm, and it's just reinforcing his smash, and he goes up 100% want to it, 200%, 300%, 1,000,000% smash. And like as soon as All Might connects with this, he basically used up his entire reserves of like the thing, and he's deflating. He like deflates, standing over All for One, and everyone's like, "What? What? Who is that? Is this really?" And they're like, "All Might just what?" And so basically, All Might had literally used up, like, hit all the energy that he had stockpiled for the day. And he'll need to rest for a few weeks and recuperate. Because of the mutated version of One For All that he received through the bond that he had with Izuku, it basically took whatever his current, like, level of embers were and made them permanent, but he can expand them. Like, he can run out of energy. It's not like this, like, infinite well of power anymore. It does have a finite limit now. And with how much All Might exerted in that last blow, it basically drained him of, like, his power almost completely. So through the media and everything, like, they're trying to like, it's on the news now, and like there's rumors going around on the internet that he said, "Shinku, is this the anti-hero that has like that existed 150 years ago? But that's impossible. Like, how can that even be possible?" and everything. And so All Might had called a press conference, and he still hasn't recovered. Like, the embers still hasn't grown back to like the way it was. So he's in his buff form, and the media's like, so they're like asking All Might all these questions and everything, and then he just like deflates, and he's like, "I guess the cat's out of the bag on this one." And so he says, Young Midoriya is like one of the kids that I have been training for the past 7 years of his life. He wasn't able to control his quirk when he was younger. And part of what he did, we don't know, like, young Midoriya is in a coma now, and we don't know if he'll ever wake up. Let this ring through to all the villains out there. Because of this, I'm coming. I won't let you escape. And he's saying this to the League of Villains. And to all the young heroes that were there, to all the heroes out there, let this be a lesson. This is a wake-up call to you. You villains have basically sealed like your own coffin. Even if this young man's like never wakes up again, you've basically have motivated an entire generation of heroes, and you won't survive. Like, they will be coming after you. They won't let this sacrifice be in vain. So we cut to Izuku, like, he is comatose because he literally got to as close to death as possible. And while he's in this coma, like, this person has been, like, in his mind, like, talking to him. She's, like, explaining how every so often in their family, people were born with powerful quirks. Like, she explains that, yeah, I'm not your mom. I think that's pretty obvious. But still, I'm not one of your great aunts either. The best way to say it is I'm a distant cousin, and I've been around for a while, basically as long as that All for One guy, or as I call him, Shigaraki. So she basically goes into what All Might had said and everything, and she's like, about several years ago, I just felt something activate. I would say about 12 years ago, like I felt something change. Like someone else had been born into our family. I was born with 2 quirks too. They're similar to yours, but it took me years to master them. You, young man, you need to stop exerting that. You can only do that one more time before the next time you do it, it will kill you. That's why I've been telling you, stop this. Like, don't do that. Like, you can't do this. There are people out there that will want that power for themselves. I'm sorry, but, I have to disappear again. Continue with the training you are, and in everything, learn to harness your power, and eventually you can use all of your power without changing your form. And this just kind of lights a fire in Izuku's, gut. He's like, and before she leaves his, dreamscape and everything, he asks her, so, will I ever see you? And she's like, one day you will. One day you might. It doesn't really matter. I'm not a person that you should be looking up to. I've killed dozens of people in the past. The feud between me and All for One has been raging for the better part of 2 centuries. So, that being said, you young man, he will come after you again. And if you're dead set on protecting those that you love, you need to learn how to control your quirks perfectly. Might I suggest that you meditate and communicate with these entities that call themselves the vestiges of One for All. And he's just like, how do you know about that? And it's like, my quirk gives me a connection to our family. And she kind of looks solemn, and it's like, we are related, but you're a distant cousin to me. I felt it when it happened with Inko. I felt her death. Every person that has been murdered that's belonged to our family, I've felt their life leaving, and I can't let that happen again. I can't go through it again. Just know, if something ever happens to where I feel like you need help, I'll be there, but I'm no hero. And I'm no villain at all. At this point in my life, I just want to be left alone. I want to live my own life. I don't want to be in the spotlight. And Izuku's like, but then why did you show up? And she's like, because, young man, you did die. You would have died if I wouldn't have intervened. Because that punch, even if he would have been able to block it, referencing All Might, I doubt you would have been able to survive the shockwave in the state that you were in. And at this, she says goodbye to him, and she's like, you may meet me one more time before I leave this world. And on that day, it will be the world will probably be better off without me in it. And Izuku is pissed off at the statement. He's like, what? You come and tell me that I have family still, that I have blood relatives still, and then like you're just gonna disappear again? And she's like, it's not like that, Izuku. I can't watch I can't watch another one of us die. I can't just sit idly by. Like, I have to get stronger so that if you can't protect yourself, I can protect you. I failed your mother. I didn't get there in time. And then before everything had happened, before I could figure out what had happened, I had to leave again. I'm sorry, but I can't stay by your side and answer everything. Eventually, like, I will do this again and come to you in your dreams like those vestiges do. But just so you know, I don't deserve to be in your life. And with that, she basically disappears. So this character, she was born with a similar quirk to Izuku's, like, blood bond, but she also had, like, and it affected her body in a way to where it extended her lifespan, and she was able to make a bond with, like, 2 other people, but that was her limit. And the electricity that exhibits around her is someone that had an electric quirk. And the other person had a telepathy quirk, and that's basically what she's been using, combined with, like, her mutated quirk to, like, deliver these letters and stuff and basically live. She's able to conceal her presence at will and everything. So she's basically been living in this state of believing that she had no family left, and then one day when she was meditating, she felt something. Like, she knew someone, and by the time she could find them, Izuku's mom had already been dead for years, and Izuku was starting to get in this counseling program and stuff. And yes, she's the presence. She was the scent that Izuku said, oh, somebody just came by. And at the time, he couldn't really differentiate between smells and between different people's smells at the time. And so with this, like, she is going to pop up from time to time, but she's, for all intents and purposes, like, nearing the end of her life. And at this, I'm going to leave this part off right here. And in part, what part was this? This was part 18. In part 19, I will go over the fallout of this and, like, the new dorm system and stuff like that. But basically, what this individual did, I will explain that in the next video. With that, I'm sorry I went over a little bit, but I feel like I finally was able to, like, figure out a way to, like, make this character work in the story, because when I initially came up with this idea, I was having a hard time trying to figure out how to incorporate this character into the story. With that being said, thanks for watching. Leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for part 19.